rock with me real quick. Let's go ahead and talk about the Fantastic Four First Steps. This is a full review. Spoilers, by the way. Just in case you missed it again, this is a spoiler review. You have been warned. Okay, let's get into it. First of all, the story was actually a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. Like, I'm I love that they started off in their fourth year. This is their fourth year of being a team, of having their powers, being the only heroes on planet Earth. I love that they kind of I have a love hate relationship actually, that they kind of sped through their classic heroes and their classic villains. Like, I love that they used and brought back Mole Man, but I hate the fact that, like, oh man, we didn't get to see Red Ghost, we didn't get to see Puppet Master, which he like said that, like, Puppet Master is a thing, Dragon Man's a thing, El Diablo is a thing, and I'm like, oh come on, those are good villains, but like for the modern day, I understand in this world they will be perfect to use, but y'all's first villain is Galactus. I feel like the saying says it all: go big or go home. All right, but that's like the first like 10 minutes. Now let's go ahead and get into it. I love the family. They really are a family in this movie. I love that. I love that Johnny's a little is definitely the little brother, but like we constantly forget that he's a rocket scientist. Like he's actually very inquisitive and smart, along with everybody else here, who's all scientists in their own fruition, and all of which are rocket scientists, especially Reed. Now, I will definitely make different videos about their different character arcs, that, like not arcs, but like different characteristics that I love about them. But I'll get into that later. But each of them knocked it out the park. Each of them. I love how Johnny is not the run of the mill Johnny that we all see, that we see in every show and every movie so far. This one is like, he's my favorite Johnny. All of them are my favorite. Are the perfect people to play these characters. Sue was phenomenal. Like, Vanessa Kirby was phenomenal in her role as Sue Storm. She was truly the mother figure of the entire group. She was the one that brokered peace among the world, not the entire world, but at least she would be the first person to talk to. Reed is always stuck in his lab, and he's always creating and making more. When they both found out that she was pregnant, one of the first things he did before the whole second act kicked off, he literally baby proofed the world. He separated each faction of like bad guys and made sure that the police were on top of it so they wouldn't have to do much. And it wasn't even out of laziness, but like even Ben called him out saying, "So you baby proof the world." And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like Reed. That sounds like Reed. All right, but let's get into the second act. Man, oh my gosh. I love Shala Ball in this. I love that this was Shala Ball. I love that we actually later in the movie we got to see a little bit of a backstory for her. And I love just how you can see that she's gonna do whatever it takes that Galactus says. However, she feels deep remorse for what she has to do. She literally gave a prayer slash blessing to Johnny, which is die with your own. And it's just like, but in her own language. And then they realize that she's been to multiple planets. Each planet has disappeared off of the star map. So like they figured that out. When they met Galactus, they tried to negotiate. They thought he was gonna be just a big guy. They were kind of right. When I tell you Ralph Ineson was a force to be reckoned with in this one as Galactus. Galactus was not a mere villain. He was not like, oh, you can talk to me, like I'll hear you out. Nope, he didn't care. He didn't care. He said, I'm hungry. And you have two options. Step aside and I'm gonna eat your planet, or hand over the child so there I can finally rest, because that child is going to inherit this throne. I don't want this anymore. I've been here for over 1 billion years. And I love that they stayed true to that origin of him. Like, he literally predates the entire universe, damn near half the multiverse. He is very omnipresent. Like, he has to feed. He's a force. He's a force of nature. Oh, and when Ralph Ineson spoke, I have not seen one trailer where he actually speaks, and the first time I hear him is in IMAX. The the ground shook every time Galactus spoke. I love that. I love that like they got Galactus right. They got Galactus right. There were some cartoon antics at the end, but it's an MCU movie. It's a comic book movie. I wouldn't expect anything less or anything more. Like I do I do love that they didn't nerf anybody. They didn't nerf any of them. They didn't nerf the Fantastic Four. They didn't nerf Silver Surfer, and they for damn sure didn't nerf Galactus. Like, oh my gosh, I love that. Like, he literally sensed Franklin, and he was just like, "That boy, he gonna be the one to put me to sleep. Like, he's gonna be the one where I can retire. I can die, and he can take over. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. I want to go to sleep." Like, but what really got me was when they came back to Earth. They didn't even try to hide what they said, what Galactus told them, and what they told Galactus. They they said either the world or the boy, and they chose the boy. Like they chose like, hey, we're not giving you either one. But the world was actually calling them selfish. The world was calling them selfish. Like give up one life to save millions, billions. And it's just like they were actually conflicted. And it wasn't until Sue Storm actually came out and gave them the speech that like, look, we are going to literally move heaven and earth to make sure Galactus does not even touch this planet or our boy. And that is another thing that kicks off where I'm going to go with next. I love that Reed is the smartest man alive. He's always has been, always will be. But the thing is, with being the smartest man alive, you also see how cold he can be. You also see how calculated he is. How he literally does think about everything, even the possibility of giving up the boy. And he literally looked at him. He looked at him through a monitor and said, there has to be another way. But the fact that like he literally said mathematically it makes sense. Like strategically, that's the best option so far. And like he tried to like nudge the like, oh, I'm not thinking of anything. I'm not going to do that. It's the fact that you thought about it and it's not that he considered it. It's more like he knows that that's option A, but he's trying to make sure that there has to be another option, which he figures it out. But it's the fact that Sue called him out for it, and Ben and Johnny called him out for it too. But now, with that being said, the final act, the fight between Galactus being on Earth and going up against the team trying to lure him into their device, their portal, because if they can't move the Earth, because the original plan was they're going to move the Earth to a different location in the universe where life will still be sustainable and all that. Not the problem. The thing was that Galactus will never find them in a million years. And then when they had it all up and running, it was going to be globe wide. They had it up and running. Then the Silver Surfer came in and destroyed every pillar except for one. And then he came up with the bright idea of just like, how about we bring him to us? Instead of moving the Earth, we move a god. We move a giant. And that was actually a very brilliant idea. It was just like there was a little hiccups, but that comes normal with the comic book territory. There were a few hiccups, but it was the fact that like the one of the most rawest moments in the MCU, in my opinion, was the fact that Sue tapped into that mother energy when she heard her baby boy cry in Galactus's hand, and she used all of her force, all of her power, to lure and drag that giant into that portal, and almost succeeded. If it wasn't for the glorious ex machina help of Silver Surfer. And it's just like, yeah, there's a reason why she's the number one female character in Marvel. And that was the reason why. But that is my opinion. I'm going to talk more about it. Thank y'all for rocking with me this long. Let me know what y'all all thought. Highly recommended. 9 out of 10, man. 9 out of 10. across the board. But I'm gonna see y'all later, man.